What is going on there?
Snuck up on you.
Hey, welcome to the Backyard Blitz. I'm Brandon People. It looks like that music kept going on. That was crazy.
What do you
guys hearing this?
No.
What is happening?
It's only you. We're good.
Oh, it's only me? You're like,
it's only you.
For a second. All right, cool. I heard myself in the... Yeah, all right. Well, okay.
You want to start over, VP? Go ahead, man.
All right, we got the Backyard Blitz going on. It's Wednesday. We got our stuff scrolling across the bottom. Make sure that you give us a like. Make sure that you check us out on all of our channels. So, yeah, let's get it going. What's going on, Drew?
What up, BP? I don't know what's going on in your end, but we look good over here. You might notice a change of scenery on the on the Drew side, Coach Drew side. I had to move from the basement up to the up. Oh, okay. We lost Brandon. He said he was having issues this morning with his internet. So I mean, it is what it is. But he's back in.
No, you know what's going on is
BP, you good?
I'm hearing you guys still talking like from the intro, like on my thing. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, man, I hope this isn't a sign of things to come because we got a lot to talk about. Busy night, busy weekend. So, Ricky, what's up with you, man?
I mean, been a pretty decent week. Long week for sure. We're preparing for the second round of the playoffs, so that's pretty interesting.
That's remarkable to me because we're already in our like state championships up here in New Jersey, and you guys are only in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you had a big win, man. Like you had a huge win. Like that was a big deal. So, and I wanted you to talk about it, man, because you built it all up, and I followed you guys. I wanted to make sure, like, see what was kind of going on. And all of a sudden, I look and I see your brother post on Twitter that you guys had won that game, and I was like, I'm all the way in Idaho. Like, I don't get to see your games. I don't get to see anything that's going on, but I talked to you and I know how big of a deal it was for you. So kind of tell us a little bit of how it went down. Cause I know that we're all interested in what's going on.
First of all, it was a very emotional game for me in general. Like I had been back to the stadium, but as a fan. So that was the first time I had been back to the stadium and I wasn't a fan nor a player. I was a coach on the other sideline. So the fact that we went into Manatee, won at Manatee, and it was the first round of the playoff, like that's something that I probably will always remember, like for real. Like that was big for me. And it was big for the program. I can't tell you the last time Sarasota even came close to beating Manatee. It was crazy. It was definitely crazy.
I mean, it was a big emotional win, right? Like you guys were pretty big underdogs going into that, right? Like as far as everything was concerned, like it was a huge upset. And I saw one of your buddies who actually played in the league for a while, and your good buddies who played at University of South Carolina, Ace Sanders, who he played for Manatee. Is that right?
Yeah, that's little bro.
And he was kind of salty about it, bro.
He was, but like I told him, it was bittersweet. So that's why, I forgot exactly what he had put on the tweet. It was like, "Don't talk to me," and then it was like ... I'll call you later, and then it was like it was basically like he was like giving like a both sides of it. Like, I'm happy for you guys, but you guys beat Manatee, so it was funny though.
Man, that's awesome. That's really
just
cool.
On the logistics side, you got all your stuff ready to go because I don't see it down the bottom here anymore.
Yeah, no, we're all good. I'm gonna pull it up kind of as we go. Everything's loaded in, otherwise it'll pop up on the screen. So you want to hear how stupid this is? I had YouTube up in the background because I always check our channel on. So when we went live, it popped up in the background, but it was delayed, so I could hear us talk, and I was like wondering what the heck was going on. So yeah,
something happened.
Moment by me.
We knew something was going on.
And I refreshed it. Yeah, so I refreshed it and was just hoping. I was like, okay, I might bounce for a
couple
second.
Seconds, or like, all right, well, we're gonna do the show without Brandon again. So.
No,
it's that damn.
No, we're all good.
There's not a whole lot of good things that come out of Idaho, but the internet's definitely not one of them. You know.
Yeah, no, that I would love to blame it on the internet. That was just me. That was user error there. So a little disconnect between the keyboard and the chair. You know, that ID10T.
All good.
All good.
What about you? What do you got going on this week, man?
Man, I'm pumped. So along with Coach Rick, my high school made it to the state championship for the 4th year in a row. So
That's what's up.
they've been in Boise the last 3 weeks, and they're playing at the BSU Stadium. So we're going to go down and we're going to watch it. It's going to be cold in Idaho. It's freezing already. We skipped past fall straight to frigid winter. So, man, it's pretty cool. We've only won one of these things, and the way that they won it was like really epic a couple years ago. But they beat Rocky Mountain, which was probably their biggest, I would say their biggest competition going in this. Now they're going to go against Meridian, which is actually, you'll see him in the chat. I'm surprised he hasn't said anything yet, but Jeff Lamb, he's from Meridian, Meridian High, actually. So we're going to go check out the game together. His family, my family, we're going to go check it out. So I'm hoping
Make sure you dress warm, dude.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be like as warm as I possibly can be, man. Bundled the hell up. And it sucks. It's a high school game, you know, because they don't have the brewskis to help keep you warm. So we're going to have to do a little pregame.
That's what the pregame tailgate's for. And the old flask, you know, grandpa's old cough medicine. So.
Hey, speaking of, you had your card show. Tell us a little bit how about that.
Yeah, so the card show is awesome, dude. It's probably that's our third one so far that I've put on. It was our most well attended show by far. I think we had including kids, over 400 people come through. It awesome. Was packed. We had like 40 vendors, man. A lot of big money being transpired there, and it shows you that the card industry during the pandemic was like up here like crazy, and it's starting to plateau a little bit, and it came back down a little bit to earth, but it's still very popular, and there's still money to be made, man. So a lot of compliments out of the show. A lot of people asking me when the next one is, which I don't know yet. I try and run them every 3 months, but with the school schedule, it's tough, so it was good. Yeah, really good event.
Did you sell any of the ones that you really like to hold on to?
I did. I sold. I made a couple $100 selling my cards, and then I just put a bunch on eBay last night. The ones that didn't sell that I knew would sell. So yeah, I got some stuff up there, and
you still
good.
Did you sell the mini one?
I'm sorry, Rick.
Oh, my bad. What'd you say, BP?
Oh, I was asking if you still got that Jimmy Garoppolo.
Somebody bought the Garoppolo. I gave the guy $3 to take it from him.
I should have known before I even said something like that.
Did you sell the mini one? The mini one that you showed us?
I didn't sell the mini one. The mini one I still got. The Dalvin Cook. I sold the Kenny Pickett today, actually, for $125. That's going for like $400, but the corners are all bent up on it. But Kenny Pickett's the hot ticket right now, man. The hot rookie. Every year there's one guy, and this year it's Kenny Pickett for whatever reason. So his cards are through the roof right now. Last year was Mac Jones. This year it's Kenny Pickett. So
that's crazy, man. I'd be curious to see what Fields would go. Well, you want to know what? There's a lot of football we got to talk about, and we got some winners and losers to talk about this week. We did the mid-year review last week, and it was really fun. But now we're kind of starting to move on where every week we're looking at that playoff picture, like who's where, and all that. So we'll start with you, Slick. I'm really curious with what you got going on. So let us know who your winner this week is.
My winner this week was the Green Bay Packers over the Cowboys. Me personally, just from watching how Watson, the kid he's from North Dakota State, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's a Florida boy. I think he's from Tampa too. Like, for him to kind of be under the radar, but now all of a sudden I feel like that may be their number one.
They've been looking for that, and I think when they drafted him, they expected a lot out of him, right? And he's kind of been hurt with a hamstring, and he's kind of had some things happen. But all of a sudden in that game, what he had 3 touchdowns?
3.
Like, he absolutely ripped it up. And when you get on Aaron Rodgers' good side, and I think Drew can speak to this, once you start finding a rhythm with the guy, it doesn't matter when it happens.
Yeah.
But it starts happening. You throw 3 touchdowns to a guy. Drew, you think that's a pretty big deal? You think that's a connection that's going to keep going for the rest of the year? Or do you think that's something that's just kind of a 1-week fluke?
No, I think it needs to keep going. Like you said, man, once you establish that connection and you got that continuity with somebody, it's a big deal. And frankly, Aaron Rodgers has been looking for that all year, man. We knew going into the year that he was going to be down a little bit with the receiving core that he had. He hasn't really gotten it going with Lazard like a lot of people talked about or thought was going to happen. He hasn't really been taken off like he was supposed to. But who knows, man? Maybe a big game out of this kid, and you're building a little relationship, and you can never count that guy out. You can never count the Packers out. You can never count Rodgers out. And if he gets going with some of these young receivers, man, watch out for the Packers going into the final stretch of the season here.
Yeah,
no, it was a fun game though. That was a hell of a game to watch, dude. There was a lot of good football, like entertaining games this week, and that Cowboys Packers game was just back and forth. And Dak, he didn't have a couple costly interceptions, but he didn't have a terrible game. Zeke was out again, so Pollard carried the rock pretty well for them. So it was fun to watch.
To me, it was McCarthy just winning another game for Green Bay, like he used to back in Lambeau. Like that's just,
dude,
I don't know what it is.
McCarthy, dude.
I don't think he's anything special. I really don't.
I didn't think it was a good hire for them 4 years ago. Whenever they hired him, or I don't know how long he's been there now, but like.
Couple years, 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just never been a big McCarthy fan, and my buddy's a diehard Dallas fan, and he's texting me during the game. He's like, "Dude, McCarthy again, giving the game away."
It just looks vanilla at times, and I know part of that, like Kellen Moore is calling the plays and all that, but there's just something missing from there, and I can't put a finger on it for Dallas. They have the talent.
Yeah,
they have a good defense, right? They have the talent. They have the playmakers. They have a good 1-2 punch in the backfield. They have a good offensive line. So, like, what is it? Like, even going back to the wild card game against the 49ers, yeah, they win games, and they get to the postseason. And then something happens where it's just like what happened against Green Bay happened. They're up 14, and then they just let it slip away. And it's like, well, what was it? Was it the interceptions? Was it play calling? Was it the defense that gave it up? Like, it's just hard to pinpoint what's going on, but it's
like Roger said last week about his coaching staff. Simplify, like they're just they're just win the game, man. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. Just go out and play football, and you got the talent to win. You start overthinking things and overanalyzing things and doing things that get you out of your comfort zone, and it turns out to be detrimental for you. And I think that's going on with the Cowboys right now.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And if they're not careful, Drew, I know that you want to talk about a particular team in the NFC East because that division's loaded. Yeah. Dallas is chasing Philadelphia, but if they're not careful, you got the Giants right there, and there's a huge win by, I think, your winner of the week.
Yeah, well, my winner of the week goes to the Washington Commanders, and they came out and they're my winner. You can make a pitch for either one, the Commanders being your winner or the Eagles being your loser, because the Eagles did some things, and I think Ricky might touch on that a little bit. But I got the Commanders as my winner because they came out with a game plan and they stuck to it and they executed and they did it well. They wanted to control the football, keep the Eagles offense off the field, and not let Jalen Hurts have the ball in his hands, and they did a damn good job of it. Time of possession was over 40 minutes for the Commanders and 19 minutes for the Eagles for the entire game. That is impressive.
Domination. That's domination.
That is impressive. You put that drive together before the end of the first half, 16 plays, 70-something yards. It takes 8 minutes off the clock, and then you punch it in the end zone, and then you hold the Eagles to 3 and out the next drive, and then you're able to punch in a field goal right before the half as time expires. Yeah. Dude, that was a killer for the Eagles going into halftime. And I know you were upset about the Philly fans booing the Eagles as they're running.
Yeah.
You got an 8-0 team undefeated, and they're running off the field at halftime and they're getting booed. But dude, that's Philly. That's and I don't. It doesn't mean they're turning on them. They're letting them know, hey, you guys are playing like crap. Get your head out of your butts. And they let them have it coming off the field at halftime, and rightfully so. And the game wound up being close at the end. Say what you want about the referees, dude. that stuff happens in the NFL. The missed face mask call, it was a miss.
Yeah.
Should the game have, is the
Big
game
miss.
hanging on? Is the game hanging on that one sole call? Did that call win or lose them the game? I don't think so. And then everybody's up in arms about the Heineke call where he takes a knee and then gets slammed. Dude, that was by the book a penalty.
Yeah.
The dude took a knee. He gave himself up. Brandon Graham ran 3 yards or 3 or 4 yards and hit him. By the book, that's a penalty. Whether you think it was a BS call or not, if it happened against you, if that was Jalen Hurts and you guys were trying to wrap the game out and they didn't call it,
hollering.
Dude, it would be the same thing the other way. So say what you want about the referees, but the Commanders came out with a game plan. They stuck to it. They executed it, and they did it well, and they got the W, man. And guess what? You see the friggin' Commanders celebrating like they won the damn Super Bowl. As we get to the end of the year here, the Eagles are going to get the best from everybody. Because they want to ruin their season. It's every team, any team that's out of it, they want to ruin the Eagles season. All right, so they're going to get everybody's best, man. There ain't going to be nobody laying down for them. And guess what? The NFC East, even with the Cowboys and the Giants, the Eagles can't let their foot off the gas because it's not the year to do that in this division.
No, and not only that, but the Vikings are right there with what they did on Sunday as well. So they're right there looking for that number 1 seed. But before we move on real quick, Taylor Heineke, can we give that guy some props? Because the way that he was slinging the ball was impressive. He's in enemy territory, and he is letting that ball rip all over the place. I saw good pass after good pass to McLaurin, to what is his name? Curtis Samuel. They're running the ball great. It was just a great overall performance. But I want to show you guys a clip here from the end of the game. So this is Coach Rivera, who had actually lost his mom about a week ago. He was really emotional about it, but if you guys haven't really seen the clip, this kind of gives you a little insight into the Commanders locker room and kind of how they're wired, because when I saw this, it really impressed me.
We can do. Yes, sir. You, coach. My mother would have been proud.
Oh man, that gets me, dude. I love what McLaurin says here, though.
You can see how much that means to him. It means a lot to everybody in this locker room, bro. We set the tone. We took it to them. We don't got shit from no body, bro. We set the tone, man. We set the tone. Offense, defense, special teams. We come to practice. We practice hard. We take it to people. We be opportunistic, and we gonna win games, bro. We got a lot of things to fix. We're going to go on the road again. We're going to try to get this done. Bring this shit in, bro. All right, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, boys. If that doesn't give you the chills that make you want to go strap them up again, because I'm ready to go. That's a team right there that told you a little bit about how they approached the game. They went in and they attacked. They weren't ready to defend. They went and attacked the Eagles at their game plan. It meant a lot for their coach. It meant a lot for a lot of different things. But that was just awesome, man. And to see Coach Rivera kind of get teary-eyed right there. Listen, if you don't know what these coaches don't work 8 hours and come home like everybody else. These guys are in the building for 12, 15 hours. They come home, they get to say hi to their kids, their wives, whatever, and they're right back at the office, and they don't get to see anybody. They're putting a lot of hours in. And so when you lose a family member or whatever it is, like there's that emotional toll. These guys care. Like they're professionals. Yeah, they get paid, a good amount of money, but they care about what they do. And you can see in that locker room, that's a dangerous locker room. To me, it's just who's pulling the trigger, and the way that Heineke did, I thought that was awesome. What are you guys' thoughts about that clip?
I'm good here drinking my beer, man. Like you can get the chills ready to go back out and play, but I'm good. I mean, yeah, I it was cool to see. Like, it's good to see the guys all worked up. Man, Rivera, man, I know it was an emotional win for him. You still got you're still all full of piss and vinegar. But I'm good right here doing this podcast and talking about all these young guys out there getting hyped up. But no, it was good, man. He was right. McLaurin, he hit the nail on the head, man. They had a game plan. They executed offense, defense, special teams. And I'm not saying that the Commanders are a contender this year, but I'll tell you what. The best thing that could have happened to that team was Carson Wentz getting that surgery, because Heineke, I think, needs to be the quarterback moving forward, man.
No, absolutely. And I think that he actually was named the starter this upcoming week when I think Carson's able to come back. So that kind of gives you a little insight there. Well, boys, my winner of the week is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And kind of like a little segue into that is overall, if you guys watch that game, that crowd in Germany was loud. The entire game was super cool. Let's talk about the Buccaneers for a second, though. We said last week when Tom came back against the Rams and threw that touchdown pass, he's going to start getting going. And he's going against the NFC West leader right now in the Seahawks, and they really put it to him. That defense did a great job, but Tom Brady did a great job. They ran the ball well. Overall, the Buccaneers now winning 2 in a row after losing some games, going all the way overseas. By the way, Tom Brady is undefeated in countries where his wife was born. So he's 1-0 there. And I'll tell you what, that guy's a psycho, so you know that he thought about it. But what did you guys think about that game? Because I thought that was a big statement for the Buccaneers. That division is, they're leading that division right now. They're 5-5. So they're going to be around. Like, we're going to be talking about this team in a while. Do you think that game was kind of a propeller for them to continue moving forward in the winning ways? We'll start with Rick.
Me personally, I think it is. Like you said, they just won 2-2. And this isn't the first time that Brady has had his ups and downs early in the season. And you get the negative talks from the commentators, the fans, the boos, the this and that, and him going through this personal issues, and then a switch just comes on, and he goes back to TB12, and then now it's a whole story written all over again. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. You can start to see that look in his eye a little bit, like starting to get into November, starting to get into those meaningful games, and he's getting ready to turn it on. What did you think about that game, Drew?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have this pumpkin, and I'm going to pretend it's my crystal ball, okay? That's why they call me Mini Prophet, because that's what I said last week. I said, don't sleep on these Buccaneers, all right? The Buccaneers, if Tom Brady gets this thing rolling, are going to be the team to be reckoned with here in the second half of the season. And we saw some glimpses of Brady this past week. Awesome crowd. He admitted one of the best atmospheres that he's ever played in. And he came out and played well, man. The whole team played well. And like I said, I expect more of that. He's got a clear mind now. He's going to be ready to go, and just watch out for the Buccaneers, because Tom Brady at 45 is still Tom Brady, man. So just watch out.
Last thing I'm going to say about this was, man, those crowds. Larry, you're hitting the nail on the head, and perfect segue and exactly what I want to show, because we got to experience this to an extent, right? Like, people in the United States don't understand that, like, when you go overseas, like, they think American football, okay. Germany loves American football. They have loved it for a long time, and they are wild about it. And I think this was the first time, in the social media era, that we've really got to see that, in an NFL broadcast game. So I'm going to bring up this little clip here because it just gives me chills every single time I watch it, and I just want to sing along.
Yes, this is Munich singing John Denver as one. This is awesome. This is literally how
I belong.
Please don't.
And then it goes right into that. They, you see 2 minutes left in the game. They get a first down and basically seal the game right at the end of that, man. And the coolest thing about it was after the game, people stayed for like 30 minutes to an hour, still just singing and enjoying the moment. I thought that was the coolest thing. Man, they're going to go back. They're going to have another game there, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, man. The German fans are passionate about football, their football and our football, and that was evident. We got it to an extent, but dude, they're loud, they're enthusiastic, they're passionate, and it was a great atmosphere. It was fun. It was fun to watch, and it was a great way. I know it was like 5:30 in the morning for you, but to wake up 9:30 in the morning, man, it was a good way to kick off the Sunday.
And they definitely had these
huge beers,
huge beers.
Yeah,
that had something to do with it.
They were like gallon, and I'm sure that they're going to be going back there. So,
oh man, that was awesome. Well, not everything was singing Country Road and all these amazing things going on. There were some losers of the week. Slick, we'll start with you. Who was your loser of the week? Who really kind of stood out as just kind of stinking the place up in week 10?
My loser of the week was the Philadelphia Eagles.
Get them.
Everything that Drew said earlier about the Eagles, I agreed with. But the thing that got it for me was they still, even with all the miscues they still had opportunities to still win the game. And those 3 fumbles, key fumbles, especially the last one that he threw to Watkins.
Oh man, when he got up and he ran and then he just got knocked out, that was crusher because that was a huge play. Philly's going to be back in it, right?
Exactly.
And then he fumbles the ball, and that was with like 7 or 8 minutes left in the game.
Yes,
that was a big play.
Like all 3 fumbles happened at the wrong time. Like they were in the mix of driving or close to scoring, and it was how they happened. I don't know. It wasn't meant for them to win. That's just how I felt.
Well, and AJ Brown, right? He kind of rolled his ankle. He rolled his ankle at the beginning of that game.
Yelling at the dog. Get off the couch.
And I think he didn't really contribute in that game, hardly at all. Like after he got hurt, and kind of to your point, I started thinking, AJ's not getting the ball. He's out. What's going on there? He doesn't have his wide receiver one. He doesn't have him, right? So your words start to, but you could see it. It was very visible.
It had to be Vegas. I will tell you, Vegas had if you were reading the pregame, betting trends and stuff like that, dude, that game was screaming for you to take the Commanders.
No kidding.
All the money was going on the Eagles, man.
No kidding.
Yeah, so
that's crazy. Yeah, and do you think, Slick, real quick before we move off the Eagles, do you think this is something that we're going to see more of? Because it looked like their run defense was pretty suspect, right? They brought in a defensive lineman today. I'm trying to think of his name. It's something that they're looking to address, but it looked like there was a couple cracks in that defense that really showed. Taylor Heineke was throwing the ball all over the place. Looked like a Pro Bowler in that game.
Yeah. I don't know. Philly just didn't look like themselves, like what we've seen the last 8 weeks.
Do you think it's a fluke, or do you think like it started like there's a problem?
I won't say it's a fluke. I think it's just one of those situations where I don't know. Maybe they kind of slept on Washington, and everybody just didn't come to play, and maybe they didn't get up for the game. I think that's what it could have been. And by the time they realized, like, oh, Washington is for real.
We're in a game.
It's like it was kind of like too late on top of the mistakes.
Kind of what Drew was saying. They're going to get the best shot from everybody because of what the record was, right?
You see the pregame walk-in, everybody's walking in, they're having fun, they're all dressed up, blah, blah, blah. I really think they overlooked them, man, and they got cracked in the mouth from the opening kickoff, dude, and they never bounced back from it. So
nice.
I don't think you said it wasn't I don't think it's a trend, but I don't think it was a fluke. Again, Commanders went in there, executed a game plan, and Philly didn't have an answer for it. So
yeah, no, I'm with you, Drew. Who you got as your loser this week, man?
I got my, and we got some people in the chat here that are gonna enjoy this one. I'm gonna eat my words a little bit. My man Justin Fields has been playing lights out for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, and I've been really impressed with them. I've taken them in my daily fantasy the last 2 weeks. My loser of the week, though, is the Bears minus Justin Fields, because this man, Justin Fields, is doing everything he possibly can to win games and put the Bears in situations to win football games. Reciprocating, their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed on Sunday, and it was frustrating to watch because, Fields has a bad turnover or whatever it might be, and the Lions score. But then what's he do the next series? Oh, he takes a 72-yard touchdown to the house, like
on
he
his
made
back.
up for it.
Just put it on his back.
On his back, dude. He's just putting the team on his back, and they can't. There's no help for him, man. And I'm starting to feel bad for the guy because he's finally coming into his own, and he's not getting any help from the defense. I didn't watch the whole game, but was Claypool a factor at all in that game? No, he had one catch. So. I'm looking at it now. He only had 2 targets. I don't know what's going on there, but Fields ran for what, 147?
Maybe he's not that good.
I think he might be still learning the playbook because they have him on the field.
I'm a psychopath. You guys know this. I watch a lot of the All 22 on the NFL Plus and all that. His routes, like, he's lazy, man. He's lazy.
Oh no, he's not a route runner at all. He's a true big body X.
Yeah,
he's a true big body.
X.
He was like that. He was like that at Notre
Justin
Dame.
Aren't on the same page. They're not on the same page at all. Like, you see Justin kind of look at him, and he'll come off him real quick. You know who's his guy is Cole Kmet.
Kmet's been playing lights.
He's been playing lights out. That's his dude right now.
Yeah,
that's his dude. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I thought
Kmet got hurt. I think
he did too.
Or no, I don't think it was that bad. It was just a contusion. I think
he's questionable. He's questionable, kind of going in this week. So we'll see.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a twist. It was he took a knee. He took a knee to the thigh. It was a child horse. So
I need Mooney to step up and make more plays.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Mooney does, and that defense does too. And I get that they got rid of Roquan,
they traded him
they got rid of Robert Quinn, but like 30 points to the Lions, and you have your rookie who's coming around. Like, maybe they pulled the trigger a little bit early because they could be winning some of these games. But nonetheless, what's encouraging is the way that Justin Fields has played the last 3-4 weeks. That's awesome. That's going to be great for the league because that kid, once he starts putting everything together, is going to be tough. Well, I'll tell you, my loser of the week is the Buffalo Bills. And you want to know what? At the beginning of the year, everybody just put a crown on Buffalo and said they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
Myself included.
Representing the AFC. Myself included. You, I think, Slake, you were kind of on that wagon as well.
Yeah, I like the Bills.
But now they've lost 3 games. And you know what? Who's leading the league in interceptions? It's Josh Allen. 10 interceptions at the halfway point of the year is too much for a guy who is getting MVP type of recognition every single week that he plays. And Slick, before the show, I mentioned that he's thrown 5 of those in the red zone. And you brought up a really great point about if Lamar Jackson or Tua Tagovailoa would have been throwing those picks, of how people would be all over him. Well, we're not really hearing that about Josh Allen. We don't hear that about him. This dude is leading the league in interceptions, and it's a problem. Their defense cannot stop the run. That's a problem. Guess what travels in the playoffs? Running games. Guess what travels in the playoffs? Defense. And that's why they were watching the Super Bowl home last year. And I'm telling you right now, it's why they're going to be watching the Super Bowl from home this year, because it might not be the Kansas City Chiefs. It might be the Miami Dolphins who are going to run the ball all over them in the playoffs. It might be some of these teams like even Cincinnati that might get in there with Joe Mixon scoring 5 touchdowns. That might be a problem. Like, they're going to run into a team that's willing to scrap with them, and it's going to be bad weather. It's going to be cold like it is this weekend. It's supposed to snow 3 to 6 feet in Buffalo.
Yeah, they ain't playing that game on Sunday.
And they're playing against Cleveland, who, guess who that they're packing? They're packing Nick Chubb, and they're packing Kareem Hunt. It's a problem that they got to get fixed.
Yeah, they're not going to play that game. It's supposed to be like you said, anywhere between 3 and 6 feet up in Buffalo. So I can't imagine that game's going to get played.
So,
yeah.
BP, let me ask you this: is it safe to say that Josh Allen may be on track to be a modern day Brett Favre?
Oh man, He is.
I'm just saying with
he's a
that's what I'm saying.
gunslinger.
Gunslinger with all the interceptions, but because eventually he probably will get a Super Bowl or two, it'll kind of like make everyone forget about all the INTs that he threw throughout his career.
I mean, the thing that makes you forget about him is that he'll run the ball for 25 yards and hurdle a dude, and you're like, wow, that's special. Or he'll throw a 30-yard line on the opposite hash to Stephon Diggs on a comeback route, and there's only a few people on the planet that makes that throw.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, but then he rolls out, and in overtime and in a crucial moment, he throws it right to Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we'd have to see more of it to kind of put that label on it, because I think what Favre like leads the league in NFL history in picks, right? But I don't think
you're going to see much of it anyway, because isn't he? I read that he's getting that surgery. No.
No. I think that was a fake report.
It was a fake report?
Yeah, it was a fake report. I think
he might need it because he looked like crap.
He did. And he had some special throws, but then you can see.
Yeah, that pass in overtime that got intercepted was, dude, I could have made that throw.
There was another one before that should have got picked earlier in the game where he's trying to throw a 15-yard out, and it hits the flat defender right in the hands, and he couldn't bring it down because, he threw it so damn hard, but the Bills, hold off on them. I don't think we can just crown them just yet. They're 6-3. They're not even leading their division. So they're my big loser of the week. We got to get on to our 2-minute drill. So let's get that music going.
Easy for you.
Boys. Now we're good. All right.
Good.
We had some big news for some big players this week. Rams receiver Cooper Kupp will undergo ankle surgery to repair his high ankle sprain, and he's officially been placed on IR. He will miss at least the next 4 games, but we know with high ankle sprains, that can be longer than 4 weeks. Yeah. Slick, we'll start with you, man. Do you think he even plays again this season? Because the way the Rams season's going, I don't know if it means a lot to bring him back in the latter parts of the season if they're done.
The only way I can see him playing is like you just mentioned. If the Rams make some kind of crazy run and they end up getting in the playoffs like a wild card, and then they play in, and they kind of treat the situation how the Eagles did T.O. in that Super Bowl game.
Oh, okay.
That's the only way I can see him like coming back this season. If they stay on the same track that they're on, you might as well just keep him on ice.
Have a hard time winning some games because he was their only guy, right?
Exactly.
Like, he was their only guy.
You might as well just keep him on ice, let him rehab, let him get back 100%, and get ready for the offseason.
Yeah. Some bad news out of Colts camp. Colts linebacker Shaquille Leonard, formerly known as what was his name? Whatever. Shaquille Leonard has undergone Darius Leonard. There we go. Has undergone back surgery, so he's been out of the lineup almost all year. He's going to miss the remainder of the 2022 season. What do you think about this, Drew? The thing is, you think there's a big hit to the Colts? They've kind of been playing without him.
Yeah, big hit to the Colts. Gonna be tough for them to bounce back from that one, Brandon.
Hey, this one kind of shocked me. The Green Bay Packers released former third-round pick wide receiver Amari Rodgers. Now, it's really weird timing that Christian Watson goes off for 3 touchdowns, and then they release this guy the following Monday. Slick, what do you think about this? Rodgers already has wanted a lot of different weapons, but then they get rid of this guy who's already still in his rookie contract. I think it's his 3rd year. That's a weird move, isn't it?
This is my first time hearing about it. Yeah, that's crazy.
I broke the news to you, bro.
Yeah, me personally, I felt like they weren't using him enough. I feel like the system that they've been running, which Aaron Rodgers is pretty much used to, I feel like Rodgers could have basically replaced Cobb when Cobb was Cobb.
Right.
Because he's that type of guy. He's a slot receiver. You pretty much can move around everywhere. A lot of
run after the catch.
Yeah, mismatch, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Give him the ball in open space. He can make plays. But for whatever reason, I don't know if he's not doing what he needs to do in practice or what. But game time, they just don't use him.
He had a fumbling problem, and I know that was kind of an issue, on kickoff returns and things like that.
I get that too.
I think he'll get picked up on waivers. I'd be shocked if he wins.
Yeah, somebody will pick him up.
Somebody's going to pick him up. Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert will miss extended time with a shoulder injury. He was just placed on IR today, so it's at least 4 games. Drew, is this a big hit to that Eagles offense?
Yes. Dallas Goedert is a playmaker on that Eagles offense. If he's not catching the ball, he's creating mismatches in the secondary, opening up lanes for the other guys to get open. He will be missed. I don't know who the replacement is, but Philly's always been a tight end heavy team, man, and they've had some good tight ends. They've had some good tight ends the last few years, so it's going to be a big hit for a couple weeks. See what happens when he comes back.
Real convenient there's the new Warzone map that drops. I think it's tomorrow night or maybe Friday. But Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray is dealing with a hamstring injury, is listed as day-to-day, bringing his availability against division rival the 49ers in doubt. Colt McCoy, this is the big one, is also dealing with a knee injury. So this is a situation to monitor for Monday night's game in Mexico City. Yeah. Hey, Drew, you ready?
Better get the old wing loose.
Hey, they're calling people up from everywhere, man. Whether
I think they would take Kingsbury. Could you imagine that? Kingsbury goes in and plays QB for his own team in an emergency situation.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't put past. I don't even know who their third guy is. I don't even know if they know who their third guy is. Quite honestly, I'll tell you what. I mean, that's a lot of big names that are out this weekend, and I hope that we got a guy that can come in here and can talk to us about what we should do with our fantasy teams.
Ask and you shall receive.
Sometimes you just have to speak it into existence there, Brandon.
Sometimes we just got to, and he pops up. I'll tell you what, it looks like you got a few more hundreds back on that board behind you. I wouldn't be surprised the way that you're going with some of these sits and some of these stardoms and your locks. And you've been on fire the last few weeks, man.
Baby needs new shoes, baby. Got to make the money. Got to make the money. That's what Mrs. Prophet told me over last week, man. I mean, she told me I had too much time on my hands, man. I needed to get a part-time job or go to the gym or something. So, I mean, hey, hell, I went to the gym.
How'd it go?
Not too bad. It was pretty cool. You know, everybody knew me after 2 days being there. I come to find out they put my picture on the before wall.
Oh my God.
So needless to say, I'm not going to that gym anymore, but I did get a job. I got a job at the calendar plant here in town, and yeah, they fired me though for taking a day off.
Oh, man,
I'm done.
It's okay though, because I applied for a mirror installer position.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It's something I could see myself doing.
Oh my God!
Get this guy to the fix, man.
Jeez.
But you know, hey, all kidding aside, you know, last night was crazy, man. Mrs. Prophet said she wanted to have Tony Three Thumbs and Joey Little Scar over for dinner for the holidays and all, and she wanted to make some of our homeland food. So she was making balukis and galumpkis and padolgis and sauerkraut, the whole nine. And I mean, Tony Three Thumb, this guy is amazing, man. I mean, he's got like the way he was just gnawing away at the food with his fingers, cutting it and not using knives and all. I mean, hell, I had food all over the kitchen. We had to bring a professional cleaner in to clean today, but it was good. It was a good time. You know what it reminded me of? You ever see a blue claw crab?
Yeah.
Tearing a piece of bunker apart, like it was nuts, man. But all good stuff. Yeah, Tony, I'm talking about you.
What's up, Tony? Oh my God.
Yeah, the guy said, hey.
Yeah.
But,
hey, when you said that Mrs. Prophet wanted to have Tony Three Thumbs, immediately I thought about your blue pill incident. I was hoping it wasn't going there, but thankfully we went to dinner.
Hey, enough.
No.
Damn it. That's enough of that talk.
Yeah,
All right, man.
Hey, we want to get to some football here.
We got to get to some football, man. Let's get to it. Hey, you were on a hell of a tear last week. You said that Justin Fields was going to have a great day fantasy-wise, and boy, did he. What do you got for us this week, man? We still got bye weeks. We're going into the meaningful part of the season. Every game means a lot, not just in the NFL, but for our fantasy teams as well. Drew, you still in this thing? Like, how's your fantasy team doing? You starting to come back a little bit?
I'm in it. I made a mistake this week, and I had to play a player down, but I picked up an injured player.
Oh, man.
Rookie mistake, but
rookie mistake. Well, hopefully the Prophet here will help us out. Who do you got that as our starters? Let's start off at quarterback. Who's the guy that you just got to have in your lineup this week?
You guys were touching on these two old guys a little bit earlier. I'll tell you what, Aaron Rodgers, watching that game Sunday, he looked like the old Aaron Rodgers, and not just from his ability, but just his desire to be on the field, which I haven't seen in 9 weeks with this guy. I think you got him. Tennessee's got a terrible pass defense. You got him. Get him in your lineup tomorrow night.
Aaron Rodgers, man, he's interesting because most of the time, like, you think that he's going to go off, and this year he's really kind of struggled. He started to find some momentum. It's in Green Bay, prime time, and we know that he excels in that spot. So I really like that.
He
I
loves
really
that
do.
situation.
He does. Hopefully Christian Watson will keep it going. What do you think about the running back situation, though? Like, as far as who you should start, who's going to have a great matchup this week?
I kind of like Isaiah Pacheco.
Pistachio,
yeah, Ferdy Pacheco's son. But yeah, you got him. Put him in there. I mean, I don't know what happened to Edwards Hilaire. I think he went back to the Bayou. I'm not sure, but
I'll tell you what,
Pacheco is definitely a nice spark in that offense because Hilaire just hasn't been doing it, man. So you just see he carries the ball different. When he has the ball, he gives that burst. I know he had a costly fumble in the red zone, and when you're a rookie running back, man, that could get you on the bench. But Reed put him right back in there, and he's doing well.
He seems to be their style of player, though. He runs really hard. He's got that burst. Looks like he's pretty good out of the backfield. And I know they got another guy in Jerick McKinnon that kind of does the same thing. But I like Pacheco. I think he's their best back. So I really like that pick there, Prophet. Now, receiver-wise, talk to me, man, because I got a receiver on bye, and I need to know who you have. I got some good guys out there, but I know Tyreek Hill, he's got a bye week this week. So who you got as your starter this week?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to replace Tyreek with anybody on the waiver wire, that's for sure. But if you got T. Higgins on your team, make sure he's in your lineup. This game, I see a high-scoring game here against Pittsburgh. They played a low-scoring game earlier. I think it's going to be a run-em-up, and Pittsburgh's run defense isn't too bad, which is going to force Burrow. Burrow. Going to force Burrow to chuck it a little more than he normally does. Get T. Higgins and, in actuality, any of the Cincinnati receivers.
Yeah, and their big guy, Jamar Chase, is out. And I know the first time that they played Pittsburgh, Burrow didn't have a very good game. They lost that game. It was an upset early in the season, I think week 1 or 2. Hey, Slick, you're our receiver guru over here. What do you think about that receiving core going into that game, especially T. Higgins? So we got the Prophet saying that he's a stardom. I like that. What do you think about it, Slick?
I agree. As long as just because they have a big three, and it's kind of like one of those situations where if Chase goes down, T. Higgins and Boyd, they can step up and do whatever they need to do. If Boyd goes down, you still got Higgins, you got Chase. If Higgins goes down, because Higgins was out for a couple weeks this season so far, right? At one point, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he was out, and then now Chase is out.
Now Chase is down, right?
Yeah. Higgins is their one, right? Like he's kind of going in as their one. So
I think they're still good because even Higgins first 2 years, his stats were kind of quiet. Like nobody realized like he touched over 1,000 both years, if I'm not mistaken, because they were so focused on Chase.
Right.
But he actually has been doing work since he's been in the NFL. So I don't think it's a big
like
deal.
it.
Yeah,
I like him
he's a
too.
good receiver.
He is. One little caveat to that game is a guy that I didn't think that was going to be back at least this early, and that's T.J. Watt. He's coming back on that defense, and of course it's going against a division rival. But I think Cincinnati's ready to play that game. They're coming off a bye. Yeah, I feel like they're coming off a bye week. So we got those guys. Those were our stardoms. Now, Prophet, when it comes to sitting them, who does not have a good matchup this week? We'll start off at quarterback.
Man, again, unfortunately, I got to go back-to-back weeks. You got Derek Carr. Please do not play him. The last game against Denver, they scored 32 points, and he threw for 188 and no touchdowns. And that was a high-scoring game. I'm seeing Carlson and McManus probably hitting on 6 field goals this week. I don't see a whole lot of scoring this week, and that's not going to help Carr any.
Right, and something's off there in Vegas, right? Like I felt like they had a good matchup last week. Yeah, and you've said it from the beginning, Drew. You saw this coming. I thought they had a chance, but man, they are all over the place, and they're still keeping their head coach, which is kind of a shock in my mind that there's no way that they're firing that guy, and apparently they're cash poor. There's no way that they're going to get rid of him for the next couple of years. I've been hearing. So bench Derek Carr. I think we can all agree on that. Do not play that guy. As far as running back goes, because we know this is where the money's made in fantasy. So who's a guy that's got a matchup this week that we should just put him on the bench?
Bench Deontay Foreman.
Oh, he's been playing well too.
He has been, but he's going up against a tough run defense in Baltimore. They were tough before Roquan Smith. Now they got Roquan. I don't see Foreman doing a whole lot this week.
Well, that's good. I'm going against him this week, so I'm really hoping that he doesn't. I think you're right too. I looked at that matchup. I think Baltimore's got like the number 4 or 5 ranked run defense against running backs. I like that a lot because Foreman's been playing well. He's been really stepping up into that role. But
he was one of them guys I told you to pick up before Caffrey got traded.
Yeah, you did. That's right. You did. All right, receiver wise. Now there's a lot of them. There's a lot of receivers on bye there, and so this is going to be a big sit-em. Who's a guy that's just not going to have a good week no matter what?
Michael Pittman. Ooh. Michael Pittman. You got it. Eagles coming off that loss. You guys hit on it. I mean, they play terrible, both sides of the ball, not just defense. They're going to be looking to rebound here. I see their defensive line giving Matt Ryan fits all day. Ryan doesn't move. I called him Mr. Immobile a few weeks back. He's gonna have a rough go at things. I still think Indianapolis is going to give him a game, but I just think it's going to be a low-scoring, closer game.
Yeah, Jeff Saturday got his first win. It looked like they were playing hard for him. But yeah, I think it's a tough matchup. I think you're dead on. So before I skip out on this one, I know we still got to talk about your lock. We got to talk about your emails. We got to talk about DraftKings, but waiver wire. This is big. Who's your pick 'em up guys this week if they're out there on the waiver wire?
It's hard to believe that everybody that plays fantasy football, only 46% of the people have the knowledge to have Jimmy Garoppolo on their team.
46%.
I did get through that with it.
I'm one of them.
46%. God. That's
Jimmy Garoppolo is the waiver quarterback this week.
I like it. He usually plays really well against the Cardinals. He's been playing really well this year. 11 touchdowns, only 4 picks, so he hasn't been turning over the ball a lot. And he's got a couple rushing touchdowns, and not a lot of people think about that, but he's the man at QB sneaks.
Yeah.
We're going to start changing his name.
Yo, BP, are you serious, dude?
No.
Are you reaching that hard? He's the best QB sneaker in the league. You better watch out for him on the 6-inch line because he's sneaking with the best of them.
Hey, fantasy-wise, that's 6 points.
Stop.
This is crazy.
What are you going to stop,
Hey, it doesn't matter whether it's 6 inches or 60 yards, right? All counts the same.
That's what I've been trying to tell a lot of people, Prophet. I've been telling them it doesn't matter matter if it's 6 inches or 60 yards, man.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, we're talking about
Yeah,
Not a
football.
lot of people
Funny.
can quarterback sneak like him. Get the hell out of here, man. Come on.
All right.
Get out of here.
All right, I just had to get
Not
through
a
his
lot
blood
of people
pressure
can
up. He
eat
looked like
3
he was
hot dogs
falling
on the
asleep,
sideline
so I
like
had
do.
to.
It doesn't make me a good quarterback.
All right, who's your lock this week? We're getting into money time for the Survivor League, so who's your lock this week, man?
I'm a little nervous about this pick. I mean, looking it all over, most of the big teams have been played already by me. But I'm going to go with San Fran this week. If Murray plays, I'm nervous.
Staring at Drew right now, just looking at him. He's so irritated.
Hey, Arizona's had San Fran's number the past 2 years.
Hell of a pick for a lock pick.
But yeah, if Murray doesn't play, I like it even more. But I'm going with San Fran this week.
No, I do like that. It's
What's
hard
he pay?
for me.
Is he paying you now? Is
Hey.
BP? You got? Are you the only one on this podcast that he's actually freaking shelving money to?
Where do you
How's
think
it
the
going
extra?
here?
Where do you
Now he's paying you to pick the Niners too?
where do you think the extra Benjamins came from?
I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired every week. These Niners, we're riding this high horse for what? Now he's got you in his pocket too, Prophet.
Hey,
That's all right, Drew.
God.
You're into the long haul because we'll be there. No, I do like that though, because you look at the problems that the Cardinals have. They're traveling to an international stadium. I don't know if Murray's going to play. If he doesn't play, I don't know if Colt McCoy is going to play. And who's their third guy? They've had issues this entire season, up and down. You got Kyler Murray screaming at DeAndre Hopkins. You got him screaming at Cliff Kingsbury. It's not the same Cardinals team that we've been seeing. I will tell you, my favorite player on the Cardinals team is Budda Baker. That guy flat out plays. He's a fun guy to watch.
He's a player for sure.
I like that, Larry.
Big is definitely-
As soon as I saw that, I knew that you were going to pull it up,
Oh,
Drew. I
you
knew it. I
was
knew
coming
it.
up. Yeah.
All right, Prophet. Well, so
Who paid
DraftKings, we had a winner. You want to go ahead and talk to that, Prophet?
We had a winner, but I haven't been given any information on who to send my money
Yeah,
to.
no,
We're still waiting on the name.
Yeah, so it's Chand like 1814 or something like that. They got a hold of us on Twitter. We're just waiting for their Venmo. So good news is that they saw they won, and we're
Okay,
just waiting
good.
for their information. So I'll get it to you. That's awesome. I already have the DraftKings up. I got it up early before the show. I'm not sure how many people are in it, but make sure that you check us out on Twitter because I haven't posted on the public yet. So make sure that you get in there. It's still at 15 because we're like right there. Like on Friday nights, it's starting to get filled. As soon as it starts getting filled up on Thursdays, we'll increase it. So it gives you a little incentive to get out there. We got $20 on the line. We still doing the $5 bonus
Five
for
the
200.
bonus. Yep.
I like it. Absolutely free to play, free money.
15's good. I like the odds for 15. We don't even have to worry. I mean, if it gets crazy out of hand, we can raise
15
it. but
seems
yeah.
like a good number.
I mean,
Seems like a
guys,
good
get
number.
in. Free money. Yeah, just win the profits money. It's simple.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we got big shout outs this week to Woodrow, Debbie, and Larry, and Jeff, and Mike, and Rachel, and all the Blitz Nation. Guys, without you, we don't do what we do. We love yous. Okay, I am going to touch on my emails, but I'm going a different route this week, okay? I've been getting hammered the past couple of weeks with emails. The past 2 weeks, I've made some pretty bold predictions. 2 weeks ago in regards to the Jets and the Giants, and last week in regards to a couple of quarterbacks. And I've been taking heat. I'm going to say this. I'm going to retract my Giants selection after looking it over. I think the Giants could end up 10-7 after looking at their schedule, and that should get them in the playoffs. The Jets, on the other hand, I think they're going to end up 9-8, and they're not going to make the playoffs in the AFC at 9-8. Now, the big, I am not retracting off of my quarterback statement. Okay, I was going to go after Rick on this, but you've been banging Fields all show and all. So you're one of my bigger opponents on the picks too. Okay, it's not going to happen. Rick, I want to give you let's say hypothetically, okay? Because you're always talking about these guys don't have number ones. Hypothetically. You're in the prime. You're playing over in Germany. You're a free agent, okay?
Ooh,
and you could go and play for a team that their quarterback is Baron von Raschke. And
that's pretty close.
yeah. And this guy,
how'd you know him?
This guy throws 52%, but he's a hell of a running back. When he can take off with the ball.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Or you can sign with, say, a team that's got Slinger, who can hit you 60 yards on the fly.
Wow. Who's paying who?
Yeah.
Who can't?
I mean, who are you going to sign with?
Yeah, who's?
It depends on what the team did the year before.
Okay, so in order to have your numbers up here, you're going to sign with Baron von Raschke's team, where you're going to get 12. You're going to get 12 passes thrown to you, maybe.
You mean the season or a game?
Huh?
12 passes a season or the game?
A season.
Oh, you're going.
But that I get where you're going at. I get the point that you're trying to make. But the thing about it is, a guy that is more mobile, if you give him a number one target, he's likely to throw the ball more. But if he doesn't have anything to work with, then he's going to rely on his legs more.
But why
Lamar
aren't
Jackson or Fields, those type of guys, they don't usually give them key type guys as receivers because they automatically think that they can just win the game with their legs. And when they don't do it, then that's when all the negativity comes.
Or do number one receivers not want to sign with them, knowing that they're not going to? It's not going to benefit their career having a running quarterback.
But we're talking about draft picks as well.
Well, I'll say this, though. If you look at Josh Allen, you look at Stephon Diggs. If you looked at when Stephon Diggs signed with the Bills, I think Josh Allen was in the 55% range for completion percentage. He was kind of throwing it all over the place. He was running the ball well. He did not start off well.
Oh,
Stephon Diggs comes into the picture, and what happens, right? So I think that's the point that you're trying to make, Slick. Is
you don't have to make
receiver
as many plays
will
with your legs
enhance
anymore.
that.
Lamar Jackson hasn't had a true number one since he's been in the NFL, and Fields doesn't have a true number one. He just got Claypool, but we just talked about earlier how they're not even on the same page. So he's doing what he can do. It's basically he's went back to, I won't even say high school. I'll say youth league, because high school he actually had receivers he could throw the ball to. Youth league, he's doing what he can do.
Right.
See, the bad part about this discussion is that there's no way of it definitely panning out one way or the other until it happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And so if Lamar doesn't ever,
I said Fields had such a big day for fantasy this week, but why did he have such a big day for fantasy? Because he ran for 150 yards and 202 touchdowns. He threw for 167 yards.
I want to see Fields. I want to see Fields with some weapons. If you give that guy some weapons with that threat of what he can do when the play breaks down, I'm wondering how many of those plays that he's taken 61 or he's thrown for 61. You see what I'm saying? I want to see him with some weapons out there is what I want to see, because I start to see like Patrick Mahomes. He's a mobile guy. They don't use him like a Lamar Jackson or anything like that. But I want to see a quarterback that's not looking when the play breaks down. He's not dropping his eyes and looking for the running lane.
He's
I want to see him down the field. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. So that's why I want to see the next step for.
Let's not erase the fact of what Justin Fields did in college. Yes, he did run the ball, but at Ohio State, he had receivers.
Oh yeah, he had Olave. He had all these guys out there.
He used them.
Yeah.
But when you're playing against friggin' the Illinois Fighting Illini, it's easy for Olave to run 80 yards down the field. Come on, guys.
I mean, it is hard to compare to the two for sure.
But better than this.
I'm not comparing college and NFL.
I know you're not.
Have weapons.
I want to go back, and I don't know off the top of my head, but I would like to go back and look in like national championship or college football playoff games and look at his stats and see where they're at against teams like
that's fair.
Bama.
Against like Bama.
Like
yeah. No, that's fair. let's keep the show going. I love the
Your mom just
convo.
hit on something big, by the way. When were we gonna announce that?
Hey, we can do it right now. I think there's no better time to do it. So next week we're going to be on a little bit earlier time. So we're going to be 5 Eastern and 3 Mountain time. So we're going to be on a little bit earlier on Wednesday. So it's still going to be on the same day, just a little bit earlier in the day for everybody, because we know you guys got family coming over, all that stuff. We don't want to be taking up your time at 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock Mountain time. So we're going to be on next week. We'll announce it at the end of the show one more time. But next week, Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Mountain time is going to be our time, because we're still going to be on, man. We're still going to be doing the show.
We're going to be on. We're
Absolutely.
our Blitz. We can't leave the Blitz Nation. You know what I'm saying?
We can't leave the Blitz Nation. Well, hey, Prophet, we love it, man. We love the knowledge that you give us every single week. You're always great for more than a laugh, man. You absolutely kill us. We can't wait to talk to you next week. I know you got some travel plans, but we'll see you next week, man.
All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
You too, man.
We'll talk to you next week.
Oh, just clicked it just a second. He's going to bust me on that next week. All right, boys. Well, let's take a look here real quick at before we get into our pick'ems. We got our fan pick'em leaderboard. Man, I had a really bad week. We got Griffin Mom at the top, Ice QB with 91, 92 for Griffin Mom. We got Heebman 55, who's creeping back up in there. Had another good week. His Packers must have won. We got Tap the Rockies at 90, and then Radioactive DK at 88.
Nobody's higher than 8 and 6 this week, huh?
No, man, it was a tough week. It was a tough week.
Explain to me again, because we talked about this last week. In the overall leaderboard, why am I not showing up?
No, so that, like I said, this is a completely different.
You are showing up.
Yeah, so this is a different pick and pool. When we do ours, it's just us 4. You're not in that one, but you would be sitting right there at number 2 in this spot.
I'm not in it. I can't win the $100 gift card.
No, I can't win it either, though.
Oh,
I can't win it either.
Still.
You're right there at 91. You're in there right at 91. All right, so we got let's get into our picks. We got our Lucy's pick of the week coming up right here. We got our week 11 matchup. This is a big one, boys. Finally, it only took till week 11 for Thursday Night Football to get a freaking game, it seems like. But we got the Tennessee Titans going into frigid Lambeau, starting to get cold in Wisconsin this type of the year. We'll start with Slick. We need a score. We need a team. Slick, who you got in this game for the Lucy's New York Style pick of the week?
Like you just mentioned, they're going to Wisconsin. And the way the Packers just played recently against the Cowboys with the victory, I chose the Packers. Score wise, I'll say 23. No, I'll say 24-10.
24-10. Oh, you're thinking of beatdown by Green Bay.
Yeah, I just don't think Tennessee is. I mean, yes, it does get cold in Tennessee, but I don't think they're going to go to Wisconsin and play well.
Okay, I like that. So 24-10, Slick's pick for the Packers over the Titans. Drew, who you got in this game, man?
I like the way the Packers have been coming on, man. I think Aaron Rodgers, like Prophet said, has he's got a little fire to him. I don't know what happened the last couple of weeks. These old QBs, Brady and Rodgers, just needed a couple of weeks to get their engines revved up, I guess. But his is going. Maybe he can continue that relationship with his receiver. I got the Packers in this one. I'm unlike Ricky though. I got a high scoring affair here. I got Packers 30 and the Titans, let's go 23. They got some weird scores in these Thursday night games.
Yeah, man. Last week I almost tweeted something on that, like who had this freaking score.
Yeah. So I got Packers 30, Titans 23.
All right, so we got Slick's got the Packers, Drew's got the Packers, and I got the Titans. I just cannot get on board yet for the Packers. I know it's in Green Bay, and my gut is telling me go with the Packers. But you got Aaron Rodgers saying stuff about Matt LaFleur's play calls in the press conference right after the game. So I'm not completely sold on it. This is going to be the game. If Green Bay wins, I'm going to jump back on them and be like, all right, they're going to be dangerous. Tennessee's got a really good defense, and the way that they played Kansas City a couple weeks ago kind of caught my eye, and they have a hell of a lot more weapons in Kansas City than Green Bay does. They're still trying to find their way. So I think Tennessee has got a good defense, and you want to know what works well? Derrick Henry works well. You give that guy the ball, they run the ball well, okay? Now, I do know that Tennessee has the 5th worst offense in the league, but I just don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I do think this is going to be one where Tennessee tries to keep it close. Tennessee tries to keep Aaron Rodgers running around, get him frustrated, get him yelling at Matt LaFleur on the sidelines. I got this game. I'm going to go 20-14 for Tennessee for my pick here. What say you? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tennessee. I need to gain that other one because there's a new sheriff in town. We'll bring that up at the end of these picks. So that's it for our New York style pick of the week. And remember, guys, if it's not Lucy's, forget about it.
Only 3 times.
Lucy
Lucy Lovechins,
Yeah.
Lucy Lovechins cooking the gnocchis.
Cooking the notchies over there. All right, so let's move it on to. All right, we got the Jets and we got the New England Patriots.
Good game here.
This is a good game. And the last time I picked the Jets and they played New England, I said, hey, I'm ready for the Jets to impress me. And they lost that freaking game again. I'm still mad about it and still pissed. Slick, who you got in this game, man?
I picked the Jets.
Damn, man.
Patriots, they really haven't been playing too well lately. They kind of been silent for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, if not more. Like you really haven't really heard too much about them. The Jets, they definitely have been putting some things together. I know in the beginning they kind of like started in, and then they made a little run, playing good team ball. Then they kind of like dropped like 2 or 3, but now it seems like they're getting things back on track, playing good team ball again. So I'm going with the Jets.
Were you sticking with that, Drew?
Yeah, I got the Jets, man. I got the Jets over the Patriots in Foxborough. All right, gonna be a tough place to play. But the Jets, I don't know, man. I got a little soft spot for them for whatever reason it might be, but I want to see this team do well. I just think it's good for the league when there's teams that don't stay low for too long, and the Jets have been down for a while. So for them to get some breathing room here and to have a couple wins and to be in contention, I think it's good. I think they've been playing good football. They had I think they were off this past week, but last week they had a nice win, and I think they're going to build off that, man. I got the Jets in this one. You
know what? They say, fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on. I'm doing it. I'm going with the Jets. I can't help it. I can't go with the Patriots in this game. The Jets came off the last time they were on a football field.
Fool me again.
Yeah, you're not gonna fool me again. That one gets me every time, man. Old W. Damn it, Drew. The last time the Jets were on the football field, they beat the Buffalo Bills. Right? They beat the Bills. And they took a bye week. Now they got another divisional opponent coming into town. And I can tell you the Mac Jones is not Josh Allen. I can tell you that defense is ready to go. And they might not have been ready to make that statement the last time they played the Patriots. They're ready this time in Foxborough. They want to do it in front of their fans. Get the brooms out because I got the Jets in this game.
Nice.
Oh, game of the week, boys. This is a huge game.
Bum, 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 bum.
Da-na, da-na.
Bum, 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 bum.
Da-na, da-na.
Bum, 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 bum.
Da, 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 da. All right. All right, Slick, man, we got the Cowboys. They're going into Minnesota. Now, I think that's a big piece of it, right? The Vikings are coming off a super emotional win against the Bills. They had it. They didn't have it. Then they got it again in overtime. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off a loss in Lambeau Field, going into another NFC North team. Slick, who you got in this game, man? Does Dallas recover or do the Vikings keep this train going?
I went with the Vikings. At the end of the day, Kirk Cousins has been playing well. Cook is healthy. Jefferson, man, oh man. That kid has really been playing ball since he's been in the league. Yeah,
We haven't even
Oh,
talked
my
about the
God.
catch of the year.
I know,
that catch was crazy.
There
The
was two
Vikings,
catches in that game too.
yeah, it was two of them. I mean, the Vikings, they just been putting it together. Like, what are they now? What, 8-1, 9-1,
8-1.
8-1?
Kirk Cousins
Kirk
wearing the
Cousins.
chains, changing
You
his
like
name
that?
to Kirk Thuggins.
You like that?
You like
You
that?
like that?
Kirk
They-
O'Chains.
Oh, bro.
They playing good ball. Like, you can't deny it. Like, even if you're not a fan, they're playing good ball.
Cook's running the ball well.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
he broke
well.
one off last week. Yeah, that was huge. So you're going with the Minnesota Vikings in this game. I
Yes,
like
sir.
it. It's hard to pick against them. Drew, who you got, man?
Man, pulling out my heartstrings here. I got too many people that are close to me that are Dallas fans, but I got to go with my head. I got a reputation to maintain here, boys. There's a new sheriff in town with the picks, and I'm going with the Vikings because they ain't losing.
Ooh, I like that, but you want to know what? I'm going a different direction because I got to catch your ass, Drew. Now that you got one up on me, man, I got to come for you. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys in this game, and it takes a lot for me. Yeah, it takes a lot for me to pick the Cowboys, but there's a little bit of thought that goes into this. The Vikings are coming off a really emotional win against the Buffalo Bills, and sometimes you have a letdown the following week. It doesn't matter if it's at home. It doesn't matter where you're going. And the Cowboys just watched the Philadelphia Eagles lose on Monday Night Football. They know this is going to be their opportunity to try to gain a game on them right now. This is a big game. This is the type of playoff seeding game, right? Like if the Vikings are playing the Cowboys in the playoffs, where is it going to be? Right now, it would be in Minnesota. This is a test me game. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys in this game. I just think that they might get a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this game. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys in this one. And if they mess me up on this one, I shall never pick them again.
Does Jerry Jones have the pride to, or can he put his pride aside and let Pollard play over Zeke? That's the question.
He needs to. He needs to, because Pollard makes a difference.
Too much invested. He won't.
Oh, so AFC West matchup right here. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going against the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, good news on the Chargers front. It looks like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams both practiced today. So they are on track to be back this week, which completely changes that offense. So completely different than we saw on Sunday Night Football. Woodrow, Woodrow, I didn't send you any texts about that game. You know that I want to, but I didn't because you're a dear friend of mine. Slick, I know that you're looking at those Chargers. I know that you're a big Justin Herbert fan. That guy's a freak. He makes a lot of big plays with his arm. Who you got in this one?
I'm still going with the Chiefs. Yes, I do like the Chargers, but
pain in that one, bro.
I'm going with the Chiefs. You got Mahomes at quarterback, and he's healthy. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Who you got, Drew?
Ricky, I don't like agreeing with you all night, man. I got the Chiefs too, but it's going to be a high-scoring affair, and I got Herbert as my fantasy quarterback. So,
me too.
If the Chiefs come out on top, I'll be okay with it. But just as long as we get some points, I see this being a shootout, man. This could be a 38-35 banger. So we'll see. But I got the Chiefs in this one.
Vegas thinks so too. Look at that, 50.5 over under. That usually means a pretty high-scoring game. And when these two teams get together, that's exactly what happens. Last year, overtime winner. Travis Kelce winning in overtime. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs right now. The Chargers they've been injured. They've been banged up. They're going to be getting some of their guys back. But I need to see it first before I make that pick. And honestly, the way that Kansas City's been playing football right now, it is extremely tough to pick against them. Let's get the brooms out because I got a clean sweep on that one. Next up, we got Monday Night Football.
Damn, how many games we got?
We only got 5. It's only 5.
Come on, guys.
Just as normal, we got the 49ers against the Arizona Cardinals. This is in Mexico City on Monday night. It looks like the spread is sitting at 8-point favorites for the Niners, which is something I didn't expect. The Niners don't have a good record against the Cardinals. I think Shanahan's only won 3 games against them in his now 6 years there. Slick, who you got in this game, man?
I went with you guys. Frisco. I went with 49ers.
Right.
Like you said, I didn't see Murray in the last game. Colt McCoy, he's hurt, so you just don't know who's going to be at the helm. And then on top of that, I mean, at the end of the day, like the 49ers, they're deep.
Drew can't even look at us, man. Just can't. He's looking at that.
at the end of the day, like the 49ers, I mean, I know Drew doesn't agree, but I don't think the 49ers is a bad team.
Thank you. Finally.
I mean, I don't think they're a bad team when they're healthy. Like
They're not.
yeah,
Look at these comments coming in. I love it. All right, Drew, go ahead. Who you got, man? Who you got?
Niners. Next.
I'm going to go with the Niners. Obviously, this is a big game, divisional game. I am worried about this. If Kyler Murray plays, they do struggle against mobile quarterbacks, and I've seen Kyler Murray do some.
I don't think Murray's going to play. That's why I picked the Niners, man.
I don't think he will either. But nonetheless, they lost to Colt McCoy last year. They did. But I think this
doesn't surprise me.
This is a different team that they're going against right now, and I think the 49ers are going to make a move. So clean sweep. We're going with the Niners. Let's go ahead and bring up all of our picks, what we got this week here. So, Drew, you see we got a new sheriff in town. He's got a 1-game lead on me. It's okay. It's okay. Looks like we got some differences, though. You got Detroit against the Giants. Now, if I remember correctly, weren't you in like a suite at the Giants Stadium not that long ago?
I think that was a misclick.
Oh,
that was no. I got the dude. Giants. There's got to be a letdown game somewhere. There's got to be a letdown. I got the Lions.
You got the Lions. Okay.
Listen, we're good.
Now, Slick, I got to bust you up on this one, man, because I picked the Raiders right there with you almost every single week because I'm looking at their opponent. I'm like, they should beat them, and then they don't. It's like 3 weeks in a row. And this one, I just couldn't do it anymore. I said, even Captain Cringe himself is going to beat Las Vegas. And you still went with them. What's got you going with Vegas, man? They should be firing their coach. They can't get.
You're right. They should be. But like the games that I've seen, it's not that they're playing bad football. It's just like probably like the beginning or maybe like mid third quarter. They just like it's kind of like they forget how to play football.
Yeah, just don't get a 17-point lead is what Vegas shouldn't be doing, right? Like if they get a 17-point lead, then it's over for them.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like the Broncos haven't been playing great. You just don't. You never week in and week out. You don't know what you're getting from them. 1 week you're like, okay, Wilson might be able to turn this thing around. He might end up getting back to, and then the next week is like he's terrible.
Man, he's been. Don't talk me out of it because I'm still going to go with Cringe, and it hurts to go with him. But I look at these differences here. I think we got 4, Drew, between you and me, and I think Slick we got 4. I need these games to pan out for me, man, big time.
Yeah,
I need to be back
going
on
out on a limb with a few of them.
Hey, that's how I felt about you last week. It worked. All right, we got our hot shot of the week segment coming up right now. Let's get that music going.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
All right, hot shot of the week. Let's start with Slick, man. You guys had a big win this week. Your high school team. Go ahead and talk about your hot shot. I don't even know if you're picking them. I just put out a lemon and guessed.
I mean, yeah, I am. So yeah, the high school that I work at, we kind of made history. Like I said, that was the first time we made the playoffs since 2012, and the first time we actually won a playoff game since 2004. As far as the team that we beat, it was also my alma mater. I can't tell you the last time Sarasota High beat Manatee in anything. So the fact that we did that at Manatee, that was a big deal. And now we're on to the second round, and we get a rematch again against Sarasota Riverview at home again. Yeah, which is a crosstown rivalry for Sarasota High. So we get a rematch from like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, they got you guys 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
right?
14-0, but it shouldn't have been. But yeah, we get a rematch with them as well. So it's crazy how the playoffs have like set up because we played Manatee earlier in the season, they beat us. And how the seeding went, played them first round, beat them. We get Riverview this week. If we beat them, we play Venice third round, which Venice came to us and beat us as well early in the season. So it's kind of crazy how we get all 3 of those guys, get a chance to basically get our get back.
Get it.
So
Hey, get him in the one that matters, Send him back.
exactly. So
Send him
that's
ass
where my
packing.
hot shot goes to.
I love it. I can't wait. I'm probably gonna be texting you, man. I'm gonna be looking on Twitter for your brother to post something.
If we have
Guys.
the link, we usually have a link on YouTube.
Hey,
We have the
if you
link.
get
I'm
a
gonna send
link,
it to
I
you.
will put it out there so we can watch this stuff, man. Because I definitely want to see this stuff, man. It's really great to follow along the team that you spend a lot of time coaching. It's awesome to see you guys have success, man. So we're all behind you.
Appreciate that.
Drew, I got a clip for you. Do you want me to play the clip first, or you want to intro it?
I'll intro it, and I'm going to keep it short because this is it's a controversial topic. But we talked last week about the Jeff Saturday situation. For those of you who didn't see Bill Cowher on CBS go off on the Jeff Saturday hiring, calling it a travesty to the coaching profession and all this crap, I am so tired of hearing it, and I am so refreshed to hear my hot shot of the week, who is Pat McAfee, say what he said, because it's finally somebody speaking their mind without the fear of repercussion. And I'm so tired of that in today's world, that we can't say what we want to say without the fear of repercussion or being canceled or whatever. And Pat McAfee goes off on Bill Cowher, and I got a clip of it. So let's play that.
I will tell you couple bombs in there, but I don't mind if you don't mind.
There is a couple F-bombs, so we're warning you now. If you have little kids listening, Tony Treetums, I know he's a little offended by language sometimes, so watch your ears.
All right, here it is.
Accepts this job, and there's backlash and fire everywhere. And Bill Cowher goes on CBS. Bill Cowher, who was hired at the age of 34 to become the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. And Bill Cowher, a man who I am a fan of, William Cowher did a lot of great things for Pittsburgh. Yeah, his jaw, his spit, his passion, his intensity, his yinzerness was something that was very inspiring for all of us. And he brought a lot of happiness to Pittsburgh. With that being said, he got hired at 34 in his hometown to be the head coach of the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. So if he maybe caught a bunch of fire whenever he got hired for not earning and deserving the job that he took, and he now wants to project that onto Jeff Saturday, he can take that up with himself. But Bill Cowher, shut the fuck up, dude. He said, why didn't John Fox get the job? Why didn't Gus Bradley get the job? It's their first year in the building, and to be honest, the team has stunk since they got there. You think Jim Irsay, who wants to hire an interim head coach, goes, you know what, these guys just got here, and although they're doing okay, the defense isn't bad, do I want to hire these guys who don't know anybody here? They're just working with the team. They don't know the building. They don't know how we operate. They literally just fucking got here, and our team hasn't been good. Jim Irsay says, do I want to hire them? Or Jim Irsay say, you know what? Give me a guy who played 13 years here. Give me a guy who's in our Ring of Honor. Give me a guy that has won a Super Bowl here. Give me a guy that has sweat, bled, and puked on this field for this program, who is...
I love it, man.
That don't give you chills and make you want to go out there and start playing again. Am I right, BP? No, I'm good with beer, but that was a great soundbite.
Yeah, that was a great soundbite. I love me some Pat McAfee always. Check out his shows. Like, you got to. His stuff's absolutely awesome, but he hits the nail on the head. Why would we go after this guy who's getting his opportunity, who has a tremendous attitude going into it? Let him do his thing. Like, why do we got to sit there and say, oh, it's this, oh, it's that? Let him go do his thing. Let him see what he does with the opportunity before we make any assumptions, right? I love it, Drew. All right, guys. I'm a little sentimental with mine, for real. Not your kind of sentimental, Drew, when it's, your hot shot of the week. But my hot shot of the week is my wife, man. So she started this job working for a mobile MRI company. She's wearing a lot of different hats, some stuff that she's never done before. And she's absolutely crushing it. She's setting up sales calls. She's never done that before. She's recruiting like crazy. Never done that before. And she's working on a commercial for them, setting up with a film company, working on the script, all that stuff. She's never done that before, and she's absolutely crushing it every single day. I hear it from her boss. I hear it from her. I hear all the stuff that the passion that she puts into it. So you want to know what? My hot shot of the week is her. Awesome job. Keep crushing it. Really, really proud of you. We love it. So awesome job. Awesome job.
Good job.
That allows me to do this, not talk to her football all the time.
Right.
That's good.
Good job.
That's super awesome. All right, boys. Well, yeah, that's right. Next week, we got Thanksgiving. It's right around the corner. So we are going to change our time next week. We are going to be at 5 Eastern, 3 Mountain Time. We're still going to bring you all of our stuff. We're going to have the Prophet on. All of us are going to be here. Just a different time is all. We'll make sure that we get all those details out to you. And we hope you guys have a nice Thanksgiving. Make sure that you tune in to us. And you know what? Tell your family members. Subscribe to the channel. Like us on Facebook, and make sure that you follow us on Twitter. But until then, guys, we're getting out of here. There's no whiteboard, dude. There's no
Would have been on the sign. The eagle is an endangered species.
Oh man, we'll see you guys.
Eagles are in
week.
some trouble.
They
if
are.
They don't get their act together.
I love it. All right, we'll see you guys next week.